Imagine waking up tomorrow and finding out the government has just decided to stop counting people. Like, poof, no more demographic data. What do you think would happen? Could a massive, incredibly complex country like India still figure out where to build new schools? Could it effectively plan hospitals, lay down roads, or, actually direct welfare schemes to the people who genuinely need them? The short answer, absolutely not. Without a proper count, governance is literally flying blind. So, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking one of the most massive logistical operations on the entire planet, India's upcoming census. We're going to break down exactly why India counts every single citizen, how this colossal task is actually pulled off, and why the upcoming 2027 count is about to completely revolutionize the way we see our nation. All right, here's our roadmap for today. 1. The country's report card. 2. The legal framework. 3. A century of counting. 4. Census 2027 going digital. And finally, 5. Shaping India's future. Okay, starting off with Section 1, the country's report card, understanding the foundation of the count. Now, at its core, a census is way more than just a simple headcount. It gathers vital intelligence on things like housing conditions, education levels, occupation, and migration. It tells the government not just how many people exist, but where they live, how they live, and what services they desperately need. It's essentially a comprehensive snapshot, captured at one very specific point in time. And because it touches literally every aspect of life, this massive operation is handled strictly by the central government. The census is officially a union subject under the Constitution. Think about it. A country as incredibly diverse as India needs a uniform, reliable system. If every state used completely different methods to count its people, well, comparing the data would be an absolute nightmare. So having it centralized under the union list ensures consistency, reliability, and comparability across the entire nation. Moving right along to Section 2, the legal framework, the authority and rules behind the operation. So this whole operation really relies on two main pillars. First up, you have the Census Act of 1948, which provides the legal foundation. It gives the government the power to collect information, but, and this is absolutely crucial for you and me, it legally guarantees the confidentiality of our data, protecting it from misuse. Then you've got the Census Rules of 1990, which act kind of like the how-to guide. They dictate the actual on-the-ground procedures, define the roles of the officers who will visit your home, and detail exactly how the count is physically executed. Next up is Section 3, a century of counting, tracing India's demographic evolution. India actually boasts one of the longest continuous census traditions in the entire world. It all began back under colonial rule in 1872, and by 1881, we had our first fully synchronized all-India census. Since then, the counting has happened like clockwork, at regular intervals. We had our last count in 2011, and we're now rapidly approaching the huge 2027 milestone, which will be the 16th census overall. 121 crore, that was the population recorded in 2011. And for over a decade now, government planning and policymaking at literally every level have relied heavily on that aging data. It really tells you just how overdue and highly anticipated the new numbers are. And honestly, it just emphasizes the truly breathtaking scale of the whole operation. Over the decades, comparing these massive counts has created this continuous, unbroken historical record. The census data literally documents our nation's incredible journey. It captures the transition from colonial rule to hard-won independence. It charts the waves of economic reforms, the massive surges of urbanization as people moved into cities, and of course, our steady technological advancement. Each census is basically a perfect time capsule for researchers and policymakers. All right, Section 4, Census 2027 Going Digital, the technological leap of the 16th census. For the very first time in history, the upcoming census is going fully digital. Step 1, the enumerators, the folks actually doing the counting, will swap out those giant paper booklets for sleek mobile apps. Step 2, this entire operation is going to be tracked in real time via a central hub called the Census Management and Monitoring System. And Step 3, actually, this is an incredible update for us citizens. You'll have the option to utilize an online portal for self-enumeration, meaning you can fill out your own household's data right from your computer. This marks a truly monumental shift. By completely leaving behind traditional paper-based methods, the government is moving towards a faster, highly efficient digital reality. This drastically reduces errors, speeds up processing time, and means the crucial data can actually be put to work for the country much, much sooner than in previous decades. Finally, Section 5, Shaping India's Future, from massive data to daily lives. As we talked about at the very beginning, without this data, governance is basically just guesswork. But with reliable, updated census data, the government knows exactly where to allocate resources. They know exactly where a new neighborhood has popped up that desperately needs a school. They know where to plan new hospital infrastructure, which specific areas require improved road networks, and where to expand public transport. It's the absolute core evidence needed to guide social welfare policies so they actually reach the people they're intended for. Because at the end of the day, behind every massive statistic and digital dashboard is a real person. Every number represents a real family and a real aspiration for a better life. This isn't just some bureaucratic chore, it's the very foundation of ensuring fair representation and effective services for every single citizen. I love this quote. When India counts its people, it is actually preparing for the future of more than 1 billion dreams. This immense logistical effort is truly a national mission to deeply understand the realities of India today so we can adequately prepare for our collective tomorrow. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this thought to ponder. Knowing what you know now about the sheer power of this data, how exactly will the fresh 2027 numbers reshape the hospitals, the schools, and the democratic representation in your very own neighborhood? Keep an eye out for the upcoming census, and as always, keep asking great questions.